Welcome to another edition of CWL Universe. I hope you're ready for another wild ride. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already to stay up to date on everything CWL Universe. If you would like to further support the show, our Patreon and Coffee links will be down below in the description. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
It's our time to shine. Show that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Off the speakers can't even handle me. Giving what I got, nobody's gonna drain my energy. And I will never stop, I'm motivated by enemies. Setting up shop so everybody remember me. And no, I am not going through life regretfully. I'd rather work non-stop, what they call incessantly, than work some odd job just to live life pleasantly. Already got lost in my mind, not a fantasy. I'm getting with all forgotten souls, so stop, drop, and roll. You lost all control and pop off your balls. I got squat, I fold, I'm not bought, I'm sold. My stock rocks, it's gold. Hey, knock, knock, she holding shit, talk to close. I ain't stopping though, it's hip-hop, you know. Or is it rock and roll? I'm not dropping down, no, my pocket's grown. You can't stop the show, so get rockin' on. So let me break it all down for you.
We are live with episode 15 of Nemesis, just 1 week away from 0 Hour. My name is Alexander Shaw, joined by one of the people that will be competing on 0 Hour, Jay Scott at the broadcast booth. And it looks like George Kamlup has come down to say some things before we get into the action here tonight.
Jacob, looks like you aren't too happy about losing to the guy who couldn't accept a loss. It's a little bit hypocritical, don't you think? Anyway, I was all set to issue my challenge for 0 Hour tonight. We were runners-up in the triple threat contenders match at Shadowband after all, and we just beat one of the few teams that has a recorded win over the Minanaki Inc. That can wait till later though. I'd much rather talk with you face to face. No more social media banter. This is just me and you. Tony's in catering, Brian's probably drunk at a bar somewhere, and FDA is probably at home recovering from the whiplash I gave him with that lariat 2 weeks ago. Again, it's just us. And I've got time. Let's talk. Straight to the point, I see. Shame you didn't take that mindset with your nothing career. You know what? I'll give you what you want. I'll give you your match for 2 reasons. 1, after what Brian did to my partner last week, the idea of taking his freaking head off, just like I did to FJA, is infinitely tantalizing to me. 2, I've talked with Tony and we've decided that it's high time that we revealed our ace in the hole. You see, Tony wasn't the first guy I went to when I had the idea of the show stealer Syndicate. We both wanted our moment, and we were ready to take it at any cost. Safe to say I got it. But he's yet to. A few weeks ago, though, he met the wrath of one of you, and just earlier tonight, he called me up. Safe to say, he wants to put down and expose you just as much as I do. So how about I make things interesting? 3 versus 3. Then we get another chance to take out the biggest group of has-beens and those who've never been in the CWL. And if you accept, you've got some perks too, you see. We promise you that we'll truly steal the show. Simple as that. Oh, time's up. Well, this has been fun, but I have to go now. See you Sunday.
Well, the Show Stealers Syndicate has thrown down the gauntlet. 3 versus 3 at 0 hour. But Jay, last my math checked out, there's only 2 members of the Show Stealers Syndicate. Looks like they might have to find a third member on short notice.
They might have to find a third member on short notice, or they might have a secret surprise lined up for Anarchy Inc., just lying in wait for 0 hour. And, there's a lot of people waiting for that opportunity, waiting for that shot, and Golden Mask is looking to put someone else on the map with another showcase match. Of course, he had that fantastic match last week, and now he's looking to run it back once again here on Nemesis tonight.
The Golden Mask handing out another golden opportunity. Just 7 days away from a world title fight. You've got to wonder who's going to be the one to step up.
The opening match of Nemesis is set for 1 fall. Introducing first, representing Backroom Dealings, weighing 229 pounds, fighting out of North Carolina, your Nemesis Heavyweight Champion, the Golden Mask.
As Golden Mask makes his way down to the ring, Jay, say what you will about Golden Mask and all of backroom dealings and, well, their dealings and this and that and what have you, but you can't deny Golden Mask, he's coming out here and he's putting up a fight every single week, but we still don't know 100% for sure who his opponent's going to be this upcoming Sunday. I mean, we saw Zach Anderson pick up that win against Eli Evans. Got to feel maybe he's earned that one-on-one shot against him in 7 days' time.
You know what, I gotta say, I applaud Golden Mask for pulling the wool over your eyes. He wants to be a fighting champion, but all he's doing is fighting, no championships involved. These showcase matches are just that. Immaterial opportunities for him to boost his ego and, pretend that he's raising the stock of an already established star in the CWL, when really what he's doing is dodging opportunities to defend that championship. And exactly what we're going to see here tonight is someone who's looking for the fight they deserve, who's looking for an opportunity that they deserve, and Golden Mask failing to deliver. Because he is not putting that championship on the line. He is doing whatever he can to keep it out of the hands of a promising challenger. He tried to give a shot to Eli Evans, for God's sake, his own faction member.
Yeah, but you've got to feel we don't have a set challenger for this Sunday. Whoever shows up tonight, if they pick up a win, they might get added to the title match.
And his opponent, weighing 250 pounds, from Tacoma, Washington, Harris.
Well, here's a man who has definitely had an opportunity or two in his time for a world title. Harris making his way down to the ring. And Jay, when Golden Mask was putting out these, showcase matches, you've got to feel he was not expecting someone like Harris to show up. This could be disastrous news for the Nemesis World Champion.
Oh, absolutely. And when it comes to that title match, he's going to have to defend that championship. They might have to roll him down the ramp into the arena because Harris is going to drop him over and over on that stack of dimes that he calls a neck. If there's any man that you don't want to be fighting on free TV when you have a big match in your future, it is Harris. Let me tell you, I have faced Harris in a absolute, like, blood match in the BAMF tournament, and I mean, he destroyed me. He wrecked me. He tore me apart. It is a terrible sign for Golden Mask that he has to go one-on-one with Harris tonight.
I mean, we saw just last week Harris versus Alexander, the current YouTube champion. Harris, within the first 30 seconds of the match, was dropping him on his head with a Gotch-style pile driver. Obviously, Harris didn't come up with the victory, but that's been sort of the history of Harris's career. He might not always win the match. He might not always win the big day, but he is sure as hell going to make his opponent hurt, and he is going to make them work for every inch. And Golden Mask, like I said, might bit off a little bit more than he could chew here tonight. This is what gets underway. Golden Mask picking the ankle, sending him down, trying to get Harris grounded early. And you've got to feel the one thing on Golden Mask's sort of side here in terms of advantage is that last week he won his match, Harris did not. You've got to feel he has that little bit of momentum coming in, but Harris showing that he is still in fighting condition.
Well, here's a situation that, something that's not often talked about is wrestler gear. Harris is always dressed for a street fight. He's got those work jeans and those combat boots, and when it comes to Golden Mask picking and twisting the leg, it's going to be hard for him to actually get a grip on the leg underneath that thick denim. That makes that leg twisting, that kind of working of the joints, that much less effective. I mean, that's a very protective outfit. That's very protective attire. It's going to make it more difficult for that dazzling technical offensive Golden Mask to actually make a difference early on, but there's nothing that is going to keep Harris safe from that huge knee strike.
Except for maybe just lifting up Golden Mask and dropping him on this dome. And that is what makes Harris so dangerous. He will not hesitate to do whatever it takes to beat an opponent, even if that means hurting their career long term as the Kawada kicks connect into the first cover of the match. Only a 1 count.
Well, lifting him up, and Harris, he does not seem to be felled. As I mentioned, that initial work on the leg did not seem to do its job because Harris has a very strong base after paintbrushing him, just picking him up on the shoulders, and oh no.
Backpack stunner there from Harris. And we saw him in perfect position to go for that Crystal Lake plunge, instead looking to do even more damage to the Nemesis heavyweight champion into the cover. Hooks the leg, only a 1 count still.
And that right there is Harris's biggest mistake. He enjoys the fight so much that sometimes he struggles to actually put an end to it. When I was in that hardcore match with him in the BAMF tournament, he just took absolute pleasure in throwing me into all sorts of equipment, and he is doing basically the exact same thing to Golden Mask here. As you mentioned, he had the opportunity to hit that Crystal Lake plunge. He had the opportunity to finish this early, and instead, he wanted to prolong it because he doesn't want to just have a wrestling match. He wants to have a long, drawn-out fight.
Yeah, but I get the feeling this fight might be getting to an end as the fire for effect lands, and Harris hooking the leg, looking to pick up the win here, and Harris just pinned the Nemesis heavyweight champion just 7 days before 0 hour. Major win here tonight. Golden Mask caught completely off guard, and now you've got to wonder what repercussions that's going to have for the Nemesis heavyweight title match.
The winner of the match, Harris.
Well, Jay, Golden Mask gave him a golden opportunity and Harris seized it almost immediately. You've got to feel this is a big misstep for the champion.
Oh, absolutely. Harris came in here with a very specific goal, turn Golden Mask's face inside out, and he absolutely did that. Golden Mask just lost a lot of momentum. This is a huge step back for a Nemesis World Champion who has yet to make his first defense.
Absolutely. And while we still don't know what exactly that match is going to be, whether it will include Zach Anderson, will it include Eli Evans, will it include Harris, maybe it'll include all of them. But you've got to feel now Golden Mask has got that seed of doubt planted thanks to Harris. And speaking of title matches, we know that Selena Adams is going to be defending the Nemesis Women's title against Pinball Witch. And tonight, Pinball Witch gets a chance to show her stuff going into the biggest match of her career. As she has said that Selena Adams doesn't want it as bad as her. Pinball Witch claims that she is the hungriest person on the Nemesis roster.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, weighing 139 pounds, from Tucson, Arizona, Pinball Witch.
Pinball Witch making her way down to the ring, and after the attack of Selena Adams backstage last week, it's sort of calling her shot, making her name known as she wants that shot for a title. As Jay, Pinball Witch in her entire career of CWL has never contended for any championship. You've got to feel that now is the biggest match of her career this Sunday at 0 Hour.
You know, we're not just looking at a new era for Pinball Witch in terms of her being able to challenge for that championship, but we're also looking at a new Pinball Witch herself. I've always been weirded out by Pinball Witch, I have to admit, but this is one of those times, now that she's undergone this transformation, that I'm really thankful that I don't have to compete in the women's division, because I'm not just weirded out by Pinball Witch anymore. She scares the crap out of me.
And her opponent, weighing 154 pounds, from Arlington, Texas, the Hammer, Haley Hudson.
Haley Hudson making her way down to the ring, looking still to get her first win, and it seems this season, every match she's in, she gets closer and closer. We know she has this sort of pseudo-friendship with Selena Adams. You've got to wonder if maybe, seeing what Pinball Witch did last week, that could drive Haley Hudson to possibly getting that first win here tonight and getting a huge upset before Pinball Witch's biggest match of her career.
Aw, they're friends? That's so cute. That's adorable. It's not going to save her from getting absolutely dismantled by the reborn Pinball Witch, and it's not going to save Selena Adams either. What we are looking at here is an era of Pinball Witch that we have never been granted the privilege of being able to see before, and that is complete domination. After Pinball Witch finishes dismantling Haley Hudson, she's going to move right on and do the same thing to the champion herself. This is not just inevitable, I mean, this is destiny for Pinball Witch.
Yes, but Destiny will have to wait until 7 days' time. Right now, she has to keep the focus on the match at hand. She can't afford to get too much in her own head, as right now, she is trying to take out the arm of Haley Hudson early in this match.
And, Pinball Witch has decided to shed her mask. She has gotten, that renewed confidence in herself, enough to actually show her face to the CWL universe. And, well, I mean, from a, practical standpoint, her vision is no longer impeded. One of the worst parts about wearing a mask when you're competing in a professional wrestling ring is that it really, interferes with your peripheral vision. And that could have been a big factor as to why Pinball Witch did not have as much luck as she wanted to in her previous matchups here in CWL. This could be, as small as it is, it could be that little bit of a push that she needs to get herself back into some serious winning ways.
Yes, and right now, though, Haley Hudson, you want to talk about getting into winning ways, I think Haley Hudson's still trying to get out of the starter gate in that sense, but we have seen, Jay, substantial improvement this season, but we've also seen a lot of improvement on the side of Pinball Witch. We're seeing two people that have vastly stepped up their game in the past season going at it, and it's honestly very interesting to see in comparison to previous years.
I agree with you 100%. Haley Hudson is a top-tier athlete, just like everyone here in CWL, and she's just been a little bit of a step behind some of her peers, but she is working as hard as she can to close that distance, and that is extremely commendable. I have a huge amount of respect for anyone working to better themselves. But the thing is, Pinball Witch is just as good as an athlete as Haley Hudson, but she has that additional, I guess the only way to put it is creepiness factor. When you're in the ring with Pinball Witch, especially this new Pinball Witch, it's got to be an extremely unnerving experience.
Absolutely. As right now, though, Haley Hudson taking a tour there with sort of a modified Luthez press into the cover. Only a 1 count, though, just far. It's going to take a lot more than that to put down the #1 contender. As Pinball Witch turns her around and a tilt-a-whirl slam there. We have seen Pinball Witch use those tilt-a-whirl slams to her effectiveness all throughout. Again, this time into a side slam. Pinball Witch just discombobulating her opponent here tonight. But Haley Hudson, backbreaker, neckbreaker combination. Absolutely lethal shot there from Hudson, but Pinball Witch not to be denied. European uppercut. Now grabbing the wrist of Haley Hudson. STO drops the hammer.
And there's just so much fluidity and movement in Pinball Witch's offense. It's not just disorienting for an opponent, it's also embarrassing because they're getting, toyed with like a rag doll. Haley Hudson's confidence has got to be shaken right now as she has just been flung around the ring for the past 30 seconds.
As now, though, we see Pinball Witch going up top. 450 splash connecting. Pinball Witch, the queen of the 450, choosing though not to go for a pin immediately afterwards, instead locking in the spellbind center of the ring, and she is just pulling on the back of Haley Hudson, and that could be the fate of Selena Adams in 7 days' time.
Incredibly impressive, and I think unfortunately for Selena Adams, definitely a sign of things to come.
Gotta give it to Haley Hudson. Like I said, every single match it seems like she gets that little bit closer to picking up a win. But tonight was not her night. Tonight belongs to the Witch of Nemesis.
Selena Adams united in a foreign sexist story you. Like these so-called fans in attendance. I know what you're thinking. And I don't deserve to be anywhere near a championship match. No one will already beat me once. So why did I send you this type of answer to your questions? You see, I try to make my way to the top, just like everyone else. But as you all saw throughout Season 4, that didn't work well for me. Yes, I have match of the night accolades, but are useless when the result in the end is always the same. So I needed ever to get off Jobberville, better yet, had a semblance of a shot at CWL Silver Gold. I needed to take action into my own hands. And since she's looking for some people to fight, you people can call me delusional, insane even, but she's hungry for a fight, so here am I. As I'm hungry too. Why am I saying hungry? I'm famished! I need to taste that one true victory that will make me be remembered for being more than just that girl whose biggest accomplishment in wrestling will ever be her coming out. I'm tired of being sour. At 0 hour, it's time I add some sweet to my meal. See you at La Ville Lumiere.
A chilling message sent to the Nemesis World Women's Champion. And you've got to feel if Selena Adams did not have Pinball Witch on her radar, she absolutely does now.
Oh, 100%. This is, in my opinion, a complete death knell for Selena Adams' title reign. And maybe her chances of ever winning a title again, because Pinball Witch is here, and she is here to stay at the top. I mean, But that is not the only, exciting competition that we have, not just here on Nemesis, but in CWL. We've got Samuel Black versus Snipers coming up. Snipers, who's been, he's been shaken by his recent losses, and he's let us know that he doesn't intend to even appear at 0 Hour.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Dark Breed, weighing in at 296 pounds, from Detroit, Michigan, Samuel Black.
And I've just received word from Tommy Hazard that Jake Eagle asked for it, and Tommy Hazard has made the contract official. We will be getting Jake Eagle versus this man at 0 Hour, thanks to the attack that Samuel Black pulled on Jake Eagle just last week. And now you've got to feel Samuel Black has a sort of extra fire lit under him going into this match with Snipers.
And I mean, I don't think you want to be in Samuel Black's shoes right now. As intimidating and dominating a presence as he is, a pissed off Jake Eagle is not one thing I would want to be in the ring against. That man can twist you into all kinds of knots in all kinds of ways, and even when you put that to the side, he's an excellent striker. Samuel Black is, he's going to reap what he's sown, and I don't think he's going to enjoy, reaping those extremely sour fruit of a Jake Eagle victory.
And his opponent, weighing in at 71.2 stone, from Edinburgh, Scotland, Sniper.
And Snipers making his way down to the ring. And I've got to say, Jay, it's sort of an interesting parallel between these two competitors. You thought you might not get a lot of similarities, but you've got to feel Snipers right now in a very similar spot to where Samuel Black was in this time last year. You've got to feel that Snipers in that sort of gray area where we all know he has the potential to move up in the rankings to become a star here on Nemesis, but he hasn't really found that thing that clicks just yet.
I want to agree with you, but at the same time, at this time last year, Samuel Black was on the losing end of several contests against Drake Harrison, one of the greatest athletes in the history of CWL, an incredible high flyer, while, Snipers has been competing against kind of run-of-the-mill relative competition, not to, obviously speak poorly of any CWL competitor, but, Snipers has been trying himself against as many people as he can, and not any of them have seemed to really go his way.
Yeah, Snipers very much so looking for what a lot of people from Genesis are sort of looking for, and it's that first big win to really put you on the map. And Samuel Black, he's got sort of a street cred to him. He might not have the accomplishments of a Drake Harrison, but you've got to feel Snipers picking up a win here tonight would do big wonders for his career, but I don't think Samuel Black's just going to roll over and let that happen as he hits that gut-wrench suplex, just tossing Snipers across the ring and now just pounding on him.
Yeah, beating Samuel Black would do big things for Sniper's career, just like if I won the lottery, it would make my day really fantastic. But I think Snipers basically has as much chance of beating Samuel Black as I do winning the lottery, because just look at the man. He's a towering figure of, hatred and destruction and just pure chaos. He is going to just wrench in that Bane claw, absolutely crush the jaw of Snipers here. Gonna make it so no more, frustrating, annoying little pesky words can come out of his mouth, and I can't wait for this to wrap up. I can't wait for Samuel Black to just drive Snipers into the mat.
To give credit where it's due, Snipers right now bringing the fight to Samuel Black, and Snipers has taken to battle other members of the Dark Breed in Toricon before, but Samuel Black, a whole different beast right now, as he has been on a roll lately, as Sniper's still able to catch the kick, sends Samuel Black into the corner, looking to get something started here. The big knees to the back, and Sniper's bringing the fight to Samuel Black, and of course, commentator's curse immediately showing its ugly head here. But Sniper's showing that he can drag this through with the best of them.
You know, I agree with you. You know, definitely both people just kind of executed the same, a very similar move, kind of showing how versatile they are. But hold on, lifting him up and just planting him down on the mat, that could be the end of things for Sniper's. All the breath driven out of his lungs. He's back on his feet, but for how long?
Yeah, Sniper's very much so an adrenaline-based fighter. I've seen him time and time again take a beating and just hit some form of second wind. But the thing about adrenaline is eventually it runs out, as Samuel Black just punches him to the ground and now sending him into the corner. Huge lariat, just ragdolling him, and Samuel Black showing on display his dominance right now. And you've got to feel Jake Eagle in the backstage area right now, maybe regretting his choice of opponent for Zero Hour.
I mean, yeah, certainly possible after watching that huge lariat just crush the windpipe of Sniper's. And you know, Sniper's, he likes to finish people off with that huge running kick, leaping from the corner and just driving his boot into their face. But when you have a hard time breathing, it's going to be really difficult for you to get that running start. Sniper's finishing offense may have just been totally crippled by the overwhelming power of Samuel Black.
As now Sniper's just trying to get something going, but Samuel Black stopping him every step of the way. And now, mid out side slam there from Samuel Black, and that could just be enough to do it as he hooks the outside leg, but Sniper's able to get that shoulder up, not going down that quickly. But Samuel Black not someone to just let this thing stay going. Now full Nelson, facebuster there from Samuel Black, and that should be enough to put Sniper's away, as Samuel Black picks up a huge win going into his battle with Jake Eagle in just 7 days' time.
Absolutely picked him up, slammed him down. I was going to call that a first-class flight to Detroit, but the way Samuel Black delivered it, it was a little bit more like Spirit Airlines.
The winner of the match, Samuel Black.
And Samuel Black looking up, staring right down the camera, sending his message to Jake Eagle. And Jake Eagle, you've got to wonder, maybe making a bit of a mistake challenging this man, this monster, to a match at 0 Hour. Oh, wait a second, as we get backstage footage here, Hannah Starr attacking Liza Horror in the backstage area, and now bringing down that chair over the head of Liza. We know the jealousy that has gone through both of these women, both of them wanting to be the next top star of Nemesis, and Hannah not liking that Liza Horror's team got the victory last week.
Oh, not at all. Just absolutely bringing it to her, trying to make a statement that even though she hasn't had as much opportunity as Liza Horror to really make her mark here on Nemesis, she is letting everyone know that her time as the star is fast approaching. And I mean, that's certainly what Aldo Shaw's looking to do as well. He is trying to ingratiate himself within the ranks of Asfodel Model, and now he's going to get an opportunity here against Warboy Haas with, I mean, Chris Edwards supervising to see, is this man truly Asfodel Model material?
I mean, here we are again, Chris Edwards messing with members of the backroom dealings in one way or another. But I'm excited to see this. This is two fantastic competitors going at it. It should be good.
The following match is set for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied by Chris Edwards, representing Backroom Dealings, weighing 217 pounds, from Melbourne, Australia, Aldo Shaw.
Aldo Shaw making his way down to the ring, coming off a major win against Seth Dallas at Gold in the Bank. Now you've got to feel he has his, sights set on some title aspirations. Well, I've got to ask, Jay, are those title aspirations going to be chased under the banner of Backroom Dealings or Asphodel Model?
Well, I mean, you have to think, given their respective records, when you look at the leader of each of those groups, especially in the storied career of BMS, you have to think that Aldo Shaw would have a better shot operating under the banner of Asphodel Model. I mean, you've got not just one star in the form of BMS, but you've got the sweetest and the sourest wrestler in all of CWL operating under that banner, of course, Chris Edwards, who will be personally supervising Aldo Shaw's performance tonight.
And his opponent, representing the War Boys, weighing 179 pounds, from Melbourne, Australia, the War Boy, Haas.
And while Chris Edwards is looking over Aldo Shaw, I'm going to be honest, Jay, I think he should be looking respectfully at Warboy Haas, because Warboy Haas, someone who, anytime the War Boys are in the ring, he shows up and he shows out. Despite his size, he is shown to be a fantastic competitor.
And Miss Shaw, we did have that little intervention at the end of Season 4 to try to negate some of your rampant hatred for Warboy Haas. And, I have to say, it feels like our sessions have been a little successful. Since maybe some of yours.
Haas? Warboy Haas is a fantastic wrestler. How could anyone hate him?
I'm so proud of your growth. I really am. And we have got Aldo Shaw here looking to take the boots to your most beloved wrestler, Warboy Haas. Oh, Haas starting it off big.
Yeah, speaking of growth, though, the anticipation for this match is growing by the second as Aldo Shaw connects with that main event spine buster, hooks the leg immediately, only a 1 count, though. And we see Chris Edwards intently looking in on this match. You've got to feel that, this is a big scouting session for Aldo Shaw, and he is looking to show up right now as he connects with that DDT to the apron.
And then, throwing it back in there. Oh, I was going to say throwing it back in the ring, but it looks like, as we know, the War Boys, they are always content to brawl on the outside, but it looks like Aldo is trying to bring this thing to a quick finish by bringing Haas back inside the ring, and that has got to be good news for Chris Edwards. He's got to like that. Asphodel Model, they like their paychecks, and they like them quick.
Yes, right now, Aldo Shaw connecting with that neck breaker. It might not be the flashiest move in the world, but it sure is effective. And Aldo Shaw is showing he can bring some flash to the pan as well.
Bring him up here, and I gotta say, trying to break him down quickly with Warboy Haas. You do not want to let Haas get up to any of his, almost, fiendish tricks that he likes to employ in a wrestling match, like that huge Hurricane Rana. You want to break down his base, and you want to break it down quickly so you can tie him up and put an end to this thing. And as that knee strike hits its mark, that big swinging knee, you got to think Aldo Shaw is looking to line him up for the Shaw's shank sooner rather than later.
Well, now he's going to the top rope. What has Aldo Shaw got in mind here? Picture perfect frog splash from Aldo Shaw hooking the leg, and that could be it, but no, the fly flow from down under, not enough to put down Haas. Is Haas trying to get to his feet, ducks the line, but gets caught with another one.
I'm just watching the action intently here. I'm trying to give you my best opinion as an in-ring professional. Who is going to come out on top? And I gotta say, while Aldo has certainly been delivering the brunt of the offense, the almost inhuman durability of Haas has got to be a factor here. Will he be able to withstand this initial flurry of offense from Shaw and perhaps mount a comeback to score himself the victory? I truly do not know at this point in the match, but if Shaw is able to keep up the pressure in this way, but hold on, Haas able to break out of it. Could this be his opportunity here, landing the big kick?
Grabbing the arm, hooking and backstabbing from Warboy Haas. This could be his moment as the war chants reverberate throughout the arena. Big forearm and another as he dodges the line. Super kick from Haas. And Haas calling for the end here. He wants to put Aldo Shaw away right now. Got him by the hair. See, that's a smart tactic from Warboy. Haas doesn't have any hair to worry about. As now arm drag taking down Aldo Shaw into the cover, lateral press. Only a 1 count thus far.
I mean, tactically it's certainly good, but in terms of a hairstyling perspective, it certainly limits his options, and you know that's definitely something that Efed model likes about Aldo Shaw is his long flowing locks. Definitely versatile and able to be just flow beautifully as he delivers the Shaw's shake. Look at how those curls flipped.
As now that might be it. As Aldo Shaw puts away a very game Warboy Haas, and you know, I've got to say, he showed he's got the flash necessary, he showed he's got the skill necessary. You've got to feel Efed model going to be looking even closer now at Aldo Shaw. Respectful.
The winner of the match, Aldo Shaw.
Aldo Shaw here, picking up that huge victory, and in my estimation, it was an excellent win and definitely something that Chris Edwards should appreciate, but Chris Edwards' standards for what it really means to be a sauced-up wrestler are much higher than mine, so I don't really know if this was enough to kind of create that trust between the two, to kind of ingratiate himself into the ranks of Efed model. I mean, it was certainly a tough test for Warboy Haas, but Warboy Crom might even have a tougher test coming up as he goes against Alex Clark. Alex Clark, who I spied backstage, has undergone a little bit of a makeover, and let me tell you, he looks HAWT hot. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. You got the power of Warboy Crom and the technical ability of Alex Clark, which will come out on top.
The following match is set for 1 fall. Introducing first, representing Kingsman, weighing 214 pounds, from London, England, Alex Clark.
Alex Clark making his way down to the ring. And you said it yourself, a complete new look for Alex Clark. He seems to have grown out that beard just a little bit, and it seems the recent losses has sort of been getting to him. Now, he looks like a whole new man with a whole new plan, and I think that plan includes getting himself a YouTube title shot at 0 Hour. But right now, no official match has been made because Alexander wants to be non-titled, Clark wants to be for the title. Neither man getting what they want at this moment.
You know, I was going to say that Alex Clark was in no position to make demands of a champion like Alexander, and then I saw those eyebrows and my whole perspective changed. Wrestling matches are temporary, but eyebrows are forever. So Alexander really might want to start taking Alex Clark a little bit more seriously.
Well, Alex Clark, he seems to have been hitting the gym. He seems to have been getting ready, but is he ready for Warboy Crom? He is someone we have seen pull off upsets in the past. Alex Clark cannot afford to overlook Warboy Crom in hopes of just focusing on Alexander down the line. He needs to be ready for tonight, or else it could spell disastrous for his hopes of challenging for that YouTube title.
And his opponent, representing the War Boys, weighing 244 pounds, from Melbourne, Australia, the War Boy, Crom.
Warboy Crom making his way down to the ring here. Always ready for a fight. He saw what Warboy Haas got up to in the last match, and he wants to try and outdo that here against Alex Clark. And you've got to feel maybe the muscle man of the Warboys looking to out-muscle Alex Clark. Since Clark not necessarily a power guy, despite his newfound gains in the gym.
You know, here's an advantage that Warboy Crom managed to bring to the ring. Aldo Shaw and Alex Clark wrestle a relatively similar style. They both like to weaken their opponents with high-power grapples and the occasional strike, and then finish them off with a wrenching submission hold or a big slam. And Warboy Crom just saw his partner, a man whose strategies he knows so well, go up against someone who wrestles such a similar style to Alex Clark. Perhaps he'll be able to take a lesson or two and implement them into his own tactics in this match, just like he was able to shove Alex Clark halfway across the ring, but not able to deflect that DDT.
As now, Alex Clark, oh wait a second here, Warboy Crom able to get the upper hand at the moment, and this is, you know, sort of the feeling out process of the match, but you've got to feel neither man wants the other one to run away with it, especially with the power on display from Warboy Crom. Just a few big moves could spell the end of the match for Alex Clark if he lets this get too out of hand.
Absolutely, look for that big kick to the back, but Alex Clark just too quick, spinning out of the way, and that speed is what Alex Clark holds over Warboy Crom in this match. You know, in the other match, even though Alex Clark and Aldo Shaw wrestled that relatively similar style, he certainly had a speed disadvantage in regards to Warboy Haas, who's just so fast, flitting around the ring like crazy, but this time Alex Clark is going to be the fast man in comparison to Warboy Crom.
Yes, it's now the strikes coming in from Alex Clark, just laying them in on Warboy Crom. Crom being dropped to the mat. We do know, though, he is a striker in his own right, so yeah, it's very simple to say this is going to be a lot of speed versus power. As now, got this chin lock locked in on Warboy Crom, trying to just wear down the big man.
It only takes one errant lariat, though, from Crom to just take Alex Clark completely off his feet and turn him inside out. If Crom can escape this straitjacket hold, if he can start to get his breath back in his body and nail just one difference-making strike, it could certainly spell disaster for Alex Clark on Nemesis.
Oh, but Alex Clark get a bit cocky there after that vertical suplex. Can't afford, like I said earlier, to look past Warboy Crom, because it could spell disaster as Crom hits him with the punch to the gut. Now front face lock here. Got him up. Shoulder breaker to Alex Clark. That newly tattooed shoulder. You've got to feel still a little bit raw. Still a little bit, you know, not too full health there. But Clark using it to put him up on his shoulders. Final destination connecting. Got the waist locked, but it's not enough.
Had those hips popped 100%, but Crom able to pop his own hips and manage to get that shoulder up, escape from the ironclad grip of Alex Clark.
But now, I think Alex Clark looking to finally put him away. You talk about that grip, he's gripping around the neck. The blackout is locked in on Crom, and Crom forced to tap out there as Alex Clark sends a message to Alexander. And you've got to wonder if that could push him over the edge of making this a title match for 0 Hour. And if he does, could we be looking at the next YouTube champion?
The winner of the match, Alex Clark.
Alex Clark A man reborn here tonight with a huge win over Warboy Crom. And should a title match be in the cards, Jay, you have to feel... wait a second, I'm getting notes from backstage. Michael Young has found Rodrigo Del Gazio backstage, and he is putting the belts to the member of Starjammer.
That absolute scumbag. He knows that I'm such a consummate professional that I will not leave my post, and Rodrigo wouldn't want me to, and that is the only reason why I'm not coming down there and helping out my best friend in the whole world. Ugh. This is... infuriating is not the right word, because really what this does is it reminds me that in just 7 days, Michael Young will not just no longer have the opportunity to injure myself or my friends, but his career will be over forever.
Yes, but that's in 7 days. We need to talk about what's happening right now as Tora Khan looking for some revenge against Connor Gates after Connor Gates beat him for that title match at Endgame. You've got to feel Tora Khan should be a former Nemesis World Champion right now if it wasn't for Connor Gates.
The main event of Nemesis is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Dark Breed, weighing 318 pounds, from before time, Tora Khan.
As Tora Khan makes his way down to the ring, he has torn a path through the Nemesis roster ever since coming here. Ever since Ken Warlock awakened this sort of other beastly side of him. And now, you've got to wonder, Jay, can Connor Gates do what he did a few months ago and put a stop to Tora Khan? Or is he just another man in the way of the beast?
I'm just kind of recovering myself now, but I have to say that is certainly a big question that we're going to have to find out the answer to as this match unfolds. I would have to give the early advantage to Connor Gates, but anything can happen in the CWL.
And his opponent, weighing 210 pounds, from Dudley, England, Connor Gates.
Connor Gates making his way down to the ring, and he is seemingly, he's been on a bit of a slump lately, I think it's fair to say. I mean, the loss at Gold in the Bank, then the match with Cairo. I mean, he's not really been the same this season as he was last season. I mean, last season, he won the Nemesis World title twice. But now, he's kind of fallen off the saddle, so to speak. And you've got to feel he feels that he needs a big win.
Understandable as that may be, my last memory of Connor Gates is of him defeating the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Rodrigo Del Gaiso, at Endgame for that Nemesis Heavyweight Championship. And, I mean, you have to think, this is a man who is capable of great things, and a man who has beaten Tora Khan once before. Surely, in this contest, even when the stakes aren't as high as they were, and we know that Connor Gates is driven by adrenaline, he's driven by opportunity, he should still be able to get the win over Tora Khan tonight, especially considering Tora Khan's rather lackluster record during his time in CWL.
Yes, but the thing is like I said, Connor Gates, he's on a slump. And Jay, as a competitor, you know better than anyone that when someone loses a couple matches in a row, especially big matches, like losing the Nemesis World title, like losing at Gold in the Bank, it does something to your psyche. It causes you to lose a step, and it could cause him to lose a match that, what some might say, should be a win for Connor Gates.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I've never experienced it personally, of course, because I never lose. But if I were to lose, I would understand, when you lose those couple of matches in a row, you start to wonder, am I as good as I thought I was? Am I as good as maybe these people thought I was, if you're one of those wrestlers who kind of feeds off the support of your audience? And Connor Gates, that little worm of doubt could have gotten in his ear. He could be doubting his abilities right now. He could have been wondering, was my time as Nemesis Heavyweight Champion, Was that just a fluke? Did I just not have the right opponents? Was I just getting lucky? And it is that kind of self-doubt, that kind of, lack of confidence that is really going to bring an end to Conor Gates' chances of, ever winning a match again. He needs to shake off, that devil on his back, that threat of loss, and start realizing that he is exactly the man he thought he was, that he is, in fact, just an absolute champion, a veteran of this industry, and someone who can beat anyone on any given day of the week.
Yeah, well, right now it doesn't look like those words are ringing true, Jay, as Tor Khan has just been manhandling Conor Gates for the past couple minutes here as he goes into the cover. Only a 1 count thus far, but you have to feel that Tor Khan has been really putting the boots so far to Conor Gates in this match as he connects with the backdrop driver. And Conor Gates is just in a bad way as Tor Khan has been absolutely tossing him around in this match thus far. Conor Gates has not really had any chance to build up any sort of offense, and it is costing him dearly right now as again he just get manhandled and tossed across the ring, and Conor Gates being forced to roll to the outside to try and get some sort of breather. But Tor Khan is arguably just as dangerous here on the outside.
I mean, perhaps even more so. We know Tor Khan for that deadly pounce maneuver that he likes to employ. Imagine if he's able to hit it on the outside and send Conor Gates just sprawling into one of those steel barricades. That could be absolutely deadly for not just Conor Gates' chances of winning this match, but perhaps his entire career.
Speaking of steel, though, we saw Conor Gates push Tor Khan into the steel steps by escaping that Boston Crab. You've got to feel maybe that could be the sort of extra bit of stuff he needs as he goes for the forearm, but Tor Khan able to get out the way, and that could be the moment gone for Conor Gates as the spin out gutbuster connects from Tor Khan, and now looking to just, I thought he was going to set him up for the spear, instead looking to lift up Conor Gates, looking to put him away personally, but no, Conor Gates twisted view! The twisted view connects, and that could be all he needs to set up. Kick to the gut, hooks the arms. Cold blank connecting. And Conor Gates may have just pulled the rabbit out of the hat here tonight and put away Tor Khan. No.
Wow, that is incredibly impressive. Putting all the, the many pounds of Tor Khan, setting them up into the air and then crashing down onto those knees, those sharp knees of Conor Gates, driving right into the ribs, the exposed ribs of Tor Khan, and still, he was able to fire that shoulder up in an act of defiance against Conor Gates. How will this match end? I mean, I truly have no idea at this point.
And so now another twisted view, and Conor Gates now, he's hit him with almost every best shot in his arsenal. He's going up top, looking for anything he could use to keep him down. As I thought he was going for the red ink, instead going for the drop kick. Tor Khan able to get out the way though, and now just deadlift choke slam from Khan into the cover. That could be enough to snuff out Conor Gates as Tor Khan picks up the victory. Give all the credit in the world to Conor Gates for bringing the fight at the end here, but in the end, Tor Khan manhandles his way to a victory.
The winner of the match, Tor Khan.
And now, the slump continues for Conor Gates, but Tor Khan continues to rise the ranks of the Nemesis roster, and you've got to feel, whether you're Alexander, Golden Mask, or whoever holds the tag titles by the end of the Vindication Super Show, you've been put on notice. But for now, that's all for Nemesis. We'll see you at 0 Hour. I've been Alexander Shaw. He's been Jay Scott, bidding you a very farewell adieu.